It's now Jillian Melcher's on a set with us. You know, it's interesting, Jillian, because you know, the story is that back in 2007, it was almost ordained that this would be, you know, she's got the spot. Hillary's going to run, she'll win, and then everyone next in line will get a shot, including a guy named Barack Obama. Then David Axelrod saw her negatives, saw her unfavorables, and said they are so high she can never win. I think they're higher now, and they're probably going to go a lot higher after tomorrow.
I completely agree. This is kind of the perils of establishment politics. You see the Democratic machine pushing people up through the system. You know, it's interesting talking to my friends in New York, even Democrat friends, who will readily admit that Hillary Clinton is not an ideal candidate, that they do have some discomfort with her ethical practices. And I think this just reinforces the perception that she is not honest.
Michael, I guess the good news could be for Democrats that maybe this has happened early enough in the election cycle. They can clean it up earlier before you came on. There was a lot of speculation that maybe Joe Biden, who reportedly is on the fence, this might be the thing that springboards him into the race. What do you think?
Yeah, Joe Biden could be their hero, their knight in shining armor. But it really sort of does go to show how weak and sort of shallow the Democratic bench is. I mean, this is supposed to be a almost coronation for Hillary Clinton, and all of a sudden we're talking about, well, who else can step into the breach? I mean, it was supposed to be Hillary Clinton who was supposed to be the nominee and the president. This is a really bad position for Democrats to be in. Yeah. And, you know, Bernie Sanders is doing really well, getting all those crowds out there. But, of course, he's not electable in a general election sense. I think Democrats have a bigger problem on their hands than really anybody, including Republicans.
Hold on one second, guys. By the way, yeah, funny thing happened on the way to the White House. I got diverted to the big house. Well, we do have a comment now from Senator Grassley, and it's I appreciate the intelligence community Inspector General providing more information in response to the questions that many members of Congress and public have in regarding the classified emails that were on former Secretary of State Clinton's private server and a thumb drive with her private attorney. This information revealed by the Inspector General makes it even more important that the FBI and the State Department secure these documents. To date, the two agencies most critical in securing this information have failed to assure the American people that they are taking the necessary steps to protect America's national security interest. That is deep, Sherry. I mean, that's what it boils down to. Right. She had a very powerful position. Some people are already wondering if she misused that in different ways, particularly associated with the foundation, and now this.
And especially since this has to do not just with the trust of her as a person and as a professional and a politician, elected official. This goes to national security issues, which especially women voters care about. What this does ensure, even more so, is that if Hillary Clinton is the Democratic nominee, she cannot win a majority of the vote. She would only win with a plurality if there's a third-party candidate.
Okay.
Who could that be?
Hey, you know what, guys? I think there could be 4 candidates. We might get Trump, Hillary, Bernie, and somebody else on the stage. But having said that, though, Steve, you wanted to say something. Did you want to chime in a minute ago?
I just wanted to make one quick point about Joe Biden. You know, I just was looking at some polls yesterday that asked the voters, would you want a third Barack Obama term? And the numbers were amazing. It was like 20% said yes and 68% said no. Those aren't the exact numbers, but something like that. The problem for a Joe Biden candidacy is he is a third Barack Obama term, and that's, I don't think, what the American people want after the last 6 years.
But, Jillian, I don't know why people, and I want to stick with Hillary, but real quick, because we brought up Bernie Sanders a couple times, and he's been sort of just dismissed. I mean, the guy's drawing these rock star kind of crowds. I don't know why dismissing the fact that the American public is probably so fed up, who knows who they'll elect next time around.
Well, I think that's a good point. I also think that, you know, the further out you get toward the fringe, maybe the more enthusiastic the voters are, so that may be giving a false perception. But with Hillary Clinton in particular, I think this definitely illustrates how vulnerable she is. You know, somebody who's a little bit more electable, a little bit more centrist than she is, could really come and knock this election off.
Tamara, how damning was that statement from Grassley?
He's a Republican. No offense, but it seems partisan.
No.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not. Let me make this very clear to the viewers.
If you're an independent,
I'm not defending Hillary Clinton.
Right.
But when a Republican comes out and makes a statement, it all of a sudden seems partisan. What would be better would be if a Democrat, like you brought up earlier, made a comment, made a statement, and said, "This is not the way that our party is run."
Well, then let me re-ask the question: could a Democrat go completely against what Grassley just said? Could any Democrat out there say what this man did, what this senator said in charge of the Judiciary Committee, United States Senate, everything he just said was there's something wrong with that? I don't think you could poke any holes in it, though.
Here's what I don't like about what's going on is that there are rushes to judgment on both sides, and that's the problem with our society.
That's pretty clear.
But hold on one second, guys. Sherry, these rushes to judgments have been building up over a period of time.
And leading to this point, what we heard today is not a rush to judgment. This is pretty serious, and again, at the highest national security levels, higher than they even
what it is.
And
they may never be able to tell us,
I want to jump on why we don't know why this is. You know, as head of an agency, under federal law, Hillary Clinton was tasked with protecting, preserving those records. We are not confident that she did that. We're not confident that we know the full story here, and that is because of her poor record keeping.
Okay, I don't need a lecture here on Hillary Clinton and her record, and I'm not defending her. I've tried to make that very clear. My point is that I think that the issue is that a Republican should stay out of it and hopefully Democrat will step up because they are dividing the party.
These guys, they're all home now for vacation. They're having their town hall meetings. They're meeting with the people back home. They cannot get away with ignoring this. First, they have to have to respond to this right away, and then, you know, before they get their talking points on it. The DNC can't even send out talking points on this. The campaign isn't going to have talking points on this. Every Democrat is out there on their own. I can't see anybody who feels so beholden to Hillary Clinton that he or she is going to stand out there and defend her to the death. You know, maybe if Debbie Wasserman Schultz will have to, but nobody else will.
What do you think?
I was going to say that it's not. I don't think the fringe people who are for Bernie Sanders. It's a grassroots movement that we know works, and this is his opportunity to go to those grassroots voters and say, this is why you don't want her.
All right, guys, remember we've got more on this top secret emails that were found in Hillary Clinton's private email server. A lot of news coming out. It's coming fast and furiously. We're going to go over it all. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.